I'm going to put some information out that's shocking and horrifying, and it's all true. I mean, people are all being murdered today for being Christian, and there's a reason. Look at my eyes last night, what they did last night with their weapons to my eyes. I showed you my legs last night where they attacked them yesterday and left bruises all over my legs. I went to my dad's house the night before. They're attacking him much worse than me. His legs are blue all over where they've attacked him with weapons. Years ago, this group took an interest in me and thought I had a power. And they want to destroy anyone that's close to God, that has godliness. So I received an invitation to a writers' conference, and I went there after I got it. And I got stuff from them with deer antler stamps and a pin for John Saul's book called The Manhattan Hunt Club. And I thought they were just writers and corporate people. I mean, just look. I'm so blind today. They look like my eyes are bleeding. Oh, and something else happened that's never happened before. After they were attacking me all night, after I talked about going on a road yesterday and two men coming up behind me in a truck and trying to get me to go to the end of a dirt road, brawny men, and not want me to go back where I came to get out. Oh my God. And I started talking about some things going on here local. They were out for blood, and they gave me threats on the computer. And today something else happened after these attacks. Every night they burn the skin area here to try to make it sag, and they burn my throat. So they tell me, oh, your thyroid's going to have to be taken out. It's not working. I go, and it's below the mark it should be. It's low. Well, today I get up, and I'm spitting up a phlegm I've never done before that's solid blood. They said they attack these areas, they give you cancer. Well, they're attacking my family. My dad has suffered 100 times worse than me, and they put him in a wheelchair and crippled him. Well, years ago, I went to this conference, and I didn't know I was being robbed, but at the same time, my mind was being invaded. So this guy calls me one Christmas let me see, it's been over about, let me think. 16 years ago, he called me the first time I never met, that had used to hang out at the John Saul website, and his name is Daniel Easton from New York, and he wanted to wish me a Merry Christmas. He called me on Christmas and started telling me mafia things and how people that know things end up thrown over cliffs. And then he said he wanted to send me a video to show me a power I had that I didn't know I had, and it's called the Ghost Whisperer. And then he wanted to let me know that there's a group after me, and then he wanted to know if I'd test a screensaver, that he made screensavers. So I put it in my computer, and my documents files disappeared, had a leprechaun. Later I know this Lois's leprechaun at Sonia Jensen's site. And people started sending me her graphics photos for some reason that had my picture in it. She's from Canada. Well, she had these pixies at her site. Well, then later I noticed this group from Maui seducing children, trying to get them to commit suicide. And all these kids start committing suicide in the news. And I know they're into witchcraft. And then they send this guy starts talking to me, Harold One Feather, and says, oh, you've been chosen. The horror writer's going to make you his 7th kill. I don't know if they're just trying to set the horror writer up or if he really did. But they said he's going to rip your heart out, like in his book, Black Creek. There's Black Creek Crossing, Midnight Voices. Which book was he talking about? He said Black Lightning. He's going to do to you what the guy did in Black Lightning. Black Lightning was in the serial killer's backpack after he did things to those women in Yosemite, but you know what? He was programmed because a month before it happened, he never had any criminal record. He was institutionalized, and now he started drawing smiley faces saying he was being followed by the thought police, which is like the people following me now, local, has smiley faces on their Jeep covers and stuff, call themselves the Watchers, the clowns. They want to kill me because this is an evil branch of government, and they're also sending me Star Wars things, and I met the makers of Star Wars trilogy. I met some of Spielberg's people in Maui at the conference, and then when I was in Kauai after the conference, somebody put me in the hotel room next to the casting director of Dragonfly, and they were also doing Jurassic Park, one of the sequels, while I was in Kauai, and I got to go to the airport and watch some of Dragonfly be filmed, where they brought in these real natives, and Kevin Costner flew in a helicopter. I had no awareness of anything, but my energy was being drained to feed psychic vampires and devil worshippers and killers. And they tortured me every day, and they treated me like trash. I became trash to them, but I didn't know why. They were stealing my virtue, putting cameras in here and later showing me new things they'd done to me, told me they'd taken new pictures and put them at porn sites. And it's worse than that. They were extracting my soul through this torture. They were recording my voice. After they paralyzed my father, I was at the hospital, and they started drawing pictures of me and of my suffering. And Skulls and people in this group would meet online and talk about how they were going to hang people, drown people, murder people to make a slave society. It showed children in classrooms being taught this nonsense, skulls, all this stuff. And then my work started appearing in movies by this Illuminati group. And all the while, they were stealing my soul. They were destroying my soul. And they were possessing me with the devil. And I fought and fought, but I didn't know I kept thinking every day the pain was going to end. And then they bring my stepkids here. They want to visit, and I hadn't seen them in 10 years. Next thing I know, they're flying my stepson Justin here. They sit on government business. And they're telling me every day, when I started getting wise and trying to get my mind and my head clear, and I stopped trying to be afraid of them, they're going to give my house to my husband's stepkids. Now that I have been tortured to death and drained of all my energy, they want to now move in for the kill and bring my husband's stepkids in here. Now, not worse than that, Rockefeller is all through the books of some of the writers. Now, some of the elite, like Illuminati people, are at my husband's ex-wife's page, who's always tried to hurt my husband. Even before I met him, she was keeping him in court, and I had hired him a bodyguard one time. It's terrible, and it's in court depositions where her ex tried to beat him up for money. And so I'm receiving things saying she's with the group, and now she wants to kill my husband. I don't know if it's hackers, but they're showing her, and then they're showing me things where her stepdaughter is supposedly dressed like a superhero figure. She is dressed like Wonder Woman, and they're telling me Wonder Woman's killing me, and they want everything, and I'm a sacrifice. And they send me and my husband these cards, Starbucks cards. They've never sent us anything in our whole life, and they're like $12 or $15 gift cards, Starbucks, but it says ISIS on it for like some symbol. And they're telling me now, the sons are killing me. They're in special forces with their friends, with the government, and the ex-wife, and my husband's stepdaughter, Tava. And they're showing me pictures where she's going to meet all these military people that are a part of this New World Order and taking flying trapeze lessons, where Olivia Newton-John took flying trapeze lessons in Nevada, and going to New Orleans and all these places and staying in 5-star hotels. Well, I'm really getting sick. So Daniel Easton calls me after he kept asking to come here and stay and visit my home, said he had real estate here and he wanted to check out new real estate and go see new real estate. He owns real estate. He said where Basher Manor Mall is. And then after this, and then him telling me about what mafia can do to a person if they rat things out and all this kind of weird talk. And then after all this happens, he tells me, I can help you, Sherry, I can help you. And every time I start a Facebook page, he pops up and he says, I can help you. I'm really good friends with Donald Trump. He's a good friend of mine. Next thing I know, I go to his page. He's dressing like Tim Burton. He's bartending. His dad was some well-known famous psychiatrist in New York, he said. So he's bartending and he plays with an orchestra and he's saying he's my friend. And he's telling me how he's good friends with Donald Trump and he can do something to help stop this. And so after these people appeared yesterday and I said something, the locals were outraged with me. They said, you're telling our business. They've already put umbrellas in my yard, left red balls across the street to try to intimidate me, done sacrificial things to me and to my dad, left symbols here that are all satanic, and telling me that I'm being infiltrated with the devil. And they are using these weapons to actually connect me to something in space, to destroy all my resistance to these devils and these monsters that you see in the clouds. They call aliens, they're demonic. And that the transformation must take place. And I resist, so they said they're killing me. But every day they threaten people around me to try to make me succumb, to break down and let the devil have full control, or what they say there's an alien really invading me. And they send me these horrible drawings they've done. You can see them with my face with tentacles and being part of the beast, and pictures, horrible pictures. I can show you hundreds of pictures they've done of me with my face in my own home through the sorrow and the torture and the things they've done to me. They're using locals to prostitute people. We have the highest teen suicide. We have the highest mortality in other ways. Terrible experiments are being conducted here. And now today they've got me spitting up blood. I don't know if it's coming from my lungs or my throat from the weapon attacks. I can't hardly walk today. My legs are blue like my poor dad's legs, that they keep blue. I have begged and pleaded with the Archdiocese, the church, to please help me with a priest or something. And they absolutely refuse. And they show me my friend George the painter, whose work hangs in the Vatican Museum. He's now been flown out of his country, and he's working somewhere, and he said that, they're making him have sex with men, and he's always been straight. He was injured in a wheelchair when a cross fell on him when he was 18 years old. He's in a wheelchair. But now, because he is poor, and they took away his home that his father owned, he said the mafia did, they are having him do this, and it's all satanic, and they tell me they're building an all-gay world. This is beyond just homosexuality, okay? The beast is supposed to be like unisex in pictures. They're sending me pictures of the beast and telling me I'm now the beast, and I die with everything inside of me to know that God is almighty, powerful, and my source of all my inspiration, and he fuels me. And so they say, well, now you're damned. We stole all your virtue with these weapons and these armies and the things we did to you. Now you're damned. And they said they're destroying every innocent in the world. They treated me worse than trash. And they say everyone is trash. Everyone will bleed for the devil, and no one will ever be happy because everyone must suffer and bleed for the devil. The devil wants that. I'm telling you, your fate and your future, the monsters are here. Look in the clouds. NASA sent the scientist to meet me in Maui after the conference, and I was sitting on the beach alone, and he came up, sit in the sand, and wanted to get to know me and asked me to the giant telescope, wanted to take pictures of me. I had no idea at the time NASA was a part of this. And if you look at old search engine themes of Google, you will see exorcist pictures as a search engine. And on one New Year's Eve, when they were really attacking me and I was looking for clues, they had a search engine theme that had the big bad wolf from The Exorcist. If you look in the Exorcist movie, there is in the basement a piece of artwork on the wall of a wolf. That was the one from The Exorcist movie. They had Little Red Riding Hood, which symbolizes that the little innocent, naive girls that they're showing pictures of dressed like Little Red Riding Hood in the woods for art, being devoured by the wolf. Like the innocence is trusting in the wolf. And they had Dracula. This is New Year's Eve. Dracula in the picture. They're real vampires, and it's the devil. And they're showing images where NASA sent me things recently, hacking on my computer, of a space vampire that looks just like the vampire that has burned its face in the concrete of my property. I've taken pictures of it in the clouds everywhere I go. It's watching me. People have seen it. And it's like the devil. And they're calling it like a space vampire. They said it's traveled centuries to come here, which is bullshit. Devil's always been here. But world government gave the devil power to enslave every human. And now they're trying to use their weapons to destroy all my human resistance, to break my brain so that I can't pray without them attacking me. But they know that I believe in God too much, and God will always protect me. So now they're saying they're either going to kill me in an evil way, rape me with men, and do these sacrifices they said with the witch doctors that they said they have. And they're going to kill me and sacrifice me against my will, because they say they're more powerful when they get with the army. They said they can take my breath. Really, they say they can do this. They have not only done this to me, but people I have met in my past, they have shown me articles where they later murdered them. They killed them in a sacrifice. One of them was a beautiful girl who had exquisite blue eyes. And I built a website, and I went to a website after we got a place in Providenciales. And she was a model that was letting her picture be used for advertisements. And I put her at my Facebook to because she was in the Caribbean water to show and asked my libertarian friends if they wanted to buy real estate there. Like Ron Paul and Rand Paul said, it's a great place to get away from all this. And they don't have very many satellites there. It's Providenciales, it's in Grand Turks. Next thing I know, they wouldn't show me about not even a whole, almost a year later, not quite a whole year, they had sacrificed her. And she had the rope burnt around her neck and they'd hung her. Well, this group was the group that was meeting online that was, after they were attacking me, saying they were going to hang people. And then that Jim Carradine or whatever was hung right after that. All these people were murdered. Well, they did this. They're using me somehow and trying to make me feel like I'm demonic because I posted her picture.